What's going on, guys? It is Chan here, and today I'm back with another video. And yes, I did realize that it has actually been like 5 to 6 days since I haven't made a video, so I'm very sorry about that. It's going to be probably the only time I go 5 to 6 days without a video. I kind of had a lot going on, but anyways, to make up for it, I'm going to be making a video today, helping you guys out, hopefully. And even if it's one of you guys, at least it helps out somebody. Today we're going to be talking about and going through how to get better at Call of Duty, and not just Black Ops 4, any Call of Duty in general. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. I'm not going to waste any more time on this intro, but speaking of intros, let's roll my loud, obnoxious, and a little bit crazy intro. Before I get into the list, I just want to say this is in no particular order at all, and before I say this first one, don't click off the video after you hear me say it. There's a little bit more to it. So the first one's actually practice, and I know you've heard that millions of times if you've watched any other videos on how to get better at Call of Duty, but like, don't practice on the only Call of Duty that you're playing. It's going to take multiple Call of Duties for you to get good. Like, I started playing multiplayer on Call of Duty in Advanced Warfare, and I just started getting good on Black Ops 4, so it's gonna take some years. And yeah, so I played other Call of Duties before Advanced Warfare, but never really touched multiplayer on them. So play multiple Call of Duties and you'll eventually get a lot better as time progresses and the years go on. Number 2 is actually to play with a group of friends, whether it's 1 person, 2 people, or 5 people. Play with a group of friends, because trust me when I say this, the randoms on Call of Duty are usually not really that good. So, if you want to get good, you gotta play with other people that are good, or at least decent at the game, and know how to actually kill people. Like, going back to my roots, yet again, Black Ops 4 is the first Call of Duty that I started play with a group of friends, and I'm Prestige Master over 300 right now, so definitely helps out if you play with friends. And when you play with friends, I believe you get like a small XP boost. I'm not really 100% sure on that, so if I'm wrong, don't roast me. But yeah, playing with friends definitely helps you get a lot better at Call of Duty, trust me. And number 3 is to actually know how to create your right class, whether that is like watching YouTube videos on best class setup in Black Ops 4 after update 1.60 or whatever you want to do, whether you're creating your own classes or stealing it from other people on YouTube. Make the right classes, make good classes. You want to know how the attachments work, you want to know how the damage works, you want to know how to make your gun better. Trust me, a stock weapon and stock classes are not going to do it for you. You need to make your own class, and I'll show a couple examples on some of my classes that I like and that are usually pretty good and pretty powerful. So let's load those on the screen right now. Okay, and then getting into number 4. Number 4 is actually to use Control Freaks, and I don't know if you've ever heard of Control Freaks. If you're part of the gaming community in general, you probably have heard of Control Freaks. They basically help out your aim pretty well. And yeah, so Control Freaks definitely do help, and if this video does good enough, I'd say well over 200 views, I'll do a Control Freak video, so please be sure to drop a sub so you do not miss out on that Control Freak video if it actually does happen. So I definitely recommend using Control Freaks, but they're only $10 to $12, so if you can't afford it, I don't know, just drop a sub so you can maybe win that giveaway if it happens. Alright, and the 5th tip that you guys could use to get better at Call of Duty, and it's actually a tip that I need to work on still to this day for myself, is to get good at the map knowledge, which I'm fine with, but you also have to study the spawns. Knowing the spawns of where your enemy team is going to be spawning in is a huge advantage point of like being good at Call of Duty and getting high kill games. Like, if you know where the spawns is, or if you know where the spawns are going, you have a high advantage on anybody else on your team and all of the enemies. So learn the spawns. It'll take a while, but learn the spawns for every single map, and trust me, you'll see a huge advantage in your gameplay. Alright, and getting into the sixth tip of today's video is to actually constantly be looking at the minimap. Literally, 75% of the game I'm probably looking at the minimap just because it tells you where the enemy is. Like, if they shoot, they're going to be on the minimap if they don't have a suppressor. If you have a UAV up, they're going to be on the minimap no matter what, unless they're running ghosts. And you will know almost all the time where the enemy team is, especially on a map like Nuketown or any of the other small maps. You will know at all times where the enemies are. So constantly stare at the minimap. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it works. I do it almost the entire game. Alright, the seventh tip for today's video kind of goes hand in hand with the practice for multiple Call of Duty games, but it's mainly to main in the Call of Duty games. Do not play any other games. You can play other games once in a while, but like, don't spend 3 days on Fortnite and then go Call of Duty for 1 day and then do 4 days on Fortnite and then do another day on Call of Duty. No, you won't get better at Call of Duty like that. Play Call of Duty consistently every single day. Play Fortnite for an hour or two a day every other day. You know, just main on Call of Duty. I cannot stress that enough. If you play multiple Call of Duties, it will be harder to get better at. If you play multiple video games like Fortnite, Resident Evil, Mortal Kombat, any of that, if you play all of these games and try to be amazing at Call of Duty, it just probably won't happen. So main Call of Duty. I cannot stress that enough. Alright, getting into the eighth tip of today's video is to have a higher sensitivity, but do not have it too high for yourself. Like, I play on an 1111 sensitivity, but you don't always need to be on a sensitivity 10 or higher. Just try to stray away from the default sensitivity that Call of Duty gives you, which I believe is like a 5.5 or a 6.6 or something like that. Like Fizz's link in description, he actually plays on like a 8.8 or a 9.9 sensitivity, somewhere around there. It's higher than the default sensitivity, so I know you may be used to the lower sensitivity that the game just gives you off the bat, but like, it's going to take a lot of practice, but definitely change your sensitivity so that it's higher. Trust me, I was scared to do it, but once I did it, I did not regret it at all. It was actually the opposite of regret. So change to a higher sensitivity. Alright, getting into tip number 9 is to strive for a better KD in that game than you have overall. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, when you go to your stats in game, it'll show a EKIA/death ratio. And let's say your KD is like a 1.20. Strive to make your KD every single game 1.3 or higher, and then once your overall KD gets to a 1.3, strive and challenge yourself to make your overall KD every single game to be a 1.4, and just keep doing that and you'll eventually get a higher KD, which will lead to making you a way better Call of Duty player. Alright, getting into the final tip of today's video, but then after this tip I have one bonus tip for you guys, but the final tip is actually to use multiple guns, and when you use many different guns, find what gun you like. And I know as a beginner you might want to stick to ARs, and that's how I was in Black Ops 3. I only used ARs and once in a while SMGs, but try out TAC rifles. Maybe you're better with TAC rifles. Try out LMGs. Maybe you're better with them. And just use as many different guns and many different variety of guns as possible, and you'll eventually find that one gun that really sticks out to you, and maybe even go for dark matter while you're at it, so that it's a little bit showable once you get to those higher prestige master levels. Alright, and then here's the bonus tip for today's video, and I make it a bonus tip because it's kind of expensive, but it's basically to have a better gaming chair / monitor. Try not to stick with a TV because a monitor is way better and has way better reaction time for gaming. And I know when I used to have a TV and people said that, I would never believe it. I'd be like, but this reaction time's fine. But then when I eventually did switch to a monitor, I realized what everyone was talking about. And a gaming chair, like, having a chair in general is so much better than sitting on your couch or your bed or even your floor, which maybe some of you guys actually do, and that's pretty unfortunate for you guys if you do have to struggle through that. But you don't, I'm not saying you need to go out and get a GTX racer like I have or anything like that. Just like any typical $30, $40, $50 gaming chair or office chair even, it would work. Alright, and that's all I had for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and even if one tip out of all 11 tips that I told you guys helped out, please be sure to drop a sub, and also maybe if you subscribe and this video does well, maybe you'll win the giveaway that I'm doing pretty soon. So, anyways, the screen just turned black, so that's my cue to leave. So anyways, hope you guys did enjoy. Peace.